Okay, well, we'll try it this way. I was going to try and do a live stream, but apparently you can't just do that. You've got to, I don't know, get approved by YouTube to do that. So I'll just try this here, see how it works. This is what I've been working on for a couple of days. Let's go over here. This is a program called Rolling Line. And I've made a layout here. So we'll give you a kind of a... It doesn't render the distance very well. There's stuff over there, but we'll get there in a minute. So I've got a little turntable here. I haven't figured out how to put buildings over that yet. I can only find this red one over here, but we've got a turntable here. If we go over here, this is the train. Well, I guess we use the passenger train already put together, but I've got a train in here. It's got two engines and some cars here, sort of double stacked. It just barely fits, which is nice. But got this side rail here that comes in, and it's double for a lot of it. I've got double lanes here. A little switch back and forth if you want to change sides. We'll get to the stuff in the middle in there in a second. But it goes double there, goes down to single over here, and you can see it splits and starts to go up. The lovely ground coming up here. And then we've got some elevation change here, so we're going to go on the top one first. So we've got going up here. It goes across this trestle. You can see some of the bottom layer there. We'll come back to that. Got the top layer going across this trestle here, and it goes through the mountain here. I need to fill in some ground there. This part's just kind of floating, and we'll get to what this stuff on the side is here in a second. Comes around this trestle and goes to sort of an older style trestle, which I like going around. Comes back through, and it goes under itself. So this is the same loop right here. It descends inside the mountain there, and comes down and splits into this switching system. So we've got a split that goes down and feeds back into the main line. That splits here, and you can see that's the red building with that train stored in it that we started at. So we've made a complete loop. But I've got a Y here for turning trains around, and this passenger train in silver chrome over there just barely fits. If I want to get it back onto that, I can get it past this switch right here that highlighted just a little bit. Now I've got some cars just set up there, so I'd have to switch that back and forth to go around that, which I've done. But it just barely fits. So I should have made that a little bit longer, but I ran out of space. I've got over here a passenger station that I set up off of this longer uninterrupted rail. We've got a couple of long uninterrupted rails here, but like a little bit of switching. I probably ought to add a switch that goes from this track, kind of the middle one here, over to the left one. I haven't done that yet. That'll be hopefully a pretty quick add. Like, not always, but we've got some hopper cars here under whatever this thing is. Little inspection station. Some tanker cars, got some... Oh, put you back down. Bonk. Some box cars there. I did find a little substation. I haven't figured out how to put wires on it yet. That may not be a thing in here. Sort of a low poly type thing. But got that here powering these, whatever this is. Haven't fully fleshed that out yet. And some gray building I found just because I like the way it looked. And got, the train sitting under here. And so you've got sort of three different views. I've got this sort of God mode / builder view that you can sort of see there. I haven't put a little town in here yet. I don't know what that box is for. A little builder view here there. And then we can actually, if we want to go down here, we can zoom in and get person size view where we can go around, and it does a pretty good job of sticking to the ground there. We can walk next to the train cab here. Go around this side. And you can see the train there. Now we can also pop into the engine, and you can see a couple of controls here. So this conglomeration allows me to switch while in the engine if I want a first person view. This board is the same one that we saw on the side. Well, get back out here for a second. Right here, so you can see I can change, I can see the sort of track layout, and I can see which way the switches are oriented with that little light there. You've got the switch yard one, and sort of the turntable with this right switch out for the building there. This thingy is a editing tool, so I can edit the track, some details, the terrain, or I can leave it locked to where I just control the engine. I can also control the engine with this one. I can kind of zap it there. So I think we'll do that for the first one. We'll go ahead and get this set. So I'm going to set the switches so he'll kind of come around that way. So I can either go manually and flip these switches, but especially if it's got sort of a double intersection there, that gets hard to figure out. So what I'm going to do over here, because I botched this one time, is go over here to the Y and make sure it's set to the direction, well, let me get that back, that I want to go to. So when I come out, I'm going to be coming out the left one there. So we're going to swap that. Actually, that one's irrelevant. We're going to be coming in this one right here. Or we're going to be coming in this one right here. And then we're going to go left around that. So I need to pop that switch over in case I need to back up any. So that's set. And when the train gets over here, the one inside the cab will change to that. That took me a minute to figure out how to get all that to show up appropriately. We're going to start it from God mode here. We'll get our train controller out. I'm going to aim it with the mouse button. You can see it turns white. We'll get turned on. There we go. And you can see he's moving. I'm going to leave it slow for a little bit so we can experiment a bit. Put that back away. So I'm going to get here not on the track, right? You can see it coming by. You can see it's going to head and go in there. I've got the engine with the cab, and then another just engine, no cab is what I think that is, because it's got the same vents there. Now we're going to go ahead and pop into the engine. Oh, nope, we're not. Now we are. Get the headlight on, give it a little. You can see we're coming through. There's a Y here. Or not a Y, a switch right as we exit the mountain there and enter this next big mountain. So if we pop out there, we can watch the train go past, or we can, as it kind of enters the thing. This clips a little bit to where you can see through it. I haven't figured out how to fix that yet. That may not be a fixable thing. We can zoom out to God mode there. Oh. I'm apparently running on top of the engine, James Bond style. Get back in the engine here. And I'll speed us up just a little bit. You see we're coming out here. You can see the far side of the switch yard where we started. So let me not get run over. There's a train coming around. We'll just pop out over here. Oh, I think I need to cover that up just a little bit. Still got some work to do on how to set up the, what do you call it, terrain. You can see the switch setup, that's the same one as in the cab. So if I'm coming around here, I've got all the turntable and these switches to change inside and outside track or get back into the switch yard or get my little other passenger train out of here. If I go into the engine, well, it was right, should be right there. May have to come up on a switch because there's not any switches here for a second, but yeah, see, there you go, it'll populate. See, we've got the curve in the workshop there. The train moves a little quick on these inside ones, but we can come out here. And what I'll do is go over here and make sure that we are set up. So I've got all the switching here to make sure we stay on the outside rail. So I've got this, you can see both there. This part here is represented there. And then I've got this other switch out to the right there. And that'll send us up and around the loop on the inside. So he's crossing there. And then this ought to, here, we'll get in close. Well, I've got to figure out, I need to expand the box on that. That automatically comes down and sends us out there. And then we'll switch back up here. And we'll catch it to ride through the mountain once we go in about here. I should tell you what, let's ride up the hill in the cab, because you'll still be able to see the train coming across this when I zoom back out. We got a little first-person view here. You see, that's the other end of the Y inside the mountain that we took the other direction on to go through the mountain the first time. So we're coming up the hill now. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'll wait till we get the engine across this part of the trestle. And then we'll be able to see the whole thing going across. So I'm going to pop a safe distance out there on the track, then we'll pop out into big view. Well, if I can, using the keyboard with this cast is a pain. But we can see it coming across there. And so it'll go into that tunnel, and then we'll watch it around the far side here as it comes out around this trestle a bit and then hop back on it. See, I got the mountain going up there. Haven't changed the mountain color yet, but I might leave it. Let me know what you think. You see we got the train coming out and around that trestle. Some of the larger tracks in this have like dividers up so you can't see it the whole way. I kind of like being able to see this one. But where it doesn't render it, now that change in curvature might be a little skinny, but worked. And then we'll pop back in here and we can see it going through the tunnel. Again, got a bit of clipping there. You can turn the headlight on and off, or the cab light. I'll go ahead and run out here. Make sure we get, so you can, this is on person size, you can say, oh, that drops just a little bit, interesting. Doesn't seem to bother the train any. You can see it coming back out down around there. And that should swing out on the side there, back to the main line. Yep, you see that switch there, and so you can see that switching. Let's see. On that one, covers it. And a little bit on this one. Because we're going right over this switch right now. Like that one. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and let this one come back around to the front a little bit. I'll put it. Actually, we can go ahead. Oh, don't actually want to reverse. There we go. All right, so that's what I've been working on a little bit.